It's not the algorithm that hates you. It's not any of that stuff. It's just not that good.
Alex Hormozi went from 0 to 5 million subscribers, and his audience is pretty obsessed with him. So in this video, I'm breaking down the exact Alex Hormozi strategy that he uses to literally brainwash his viewers. Most creators, when they hear the word hook, think of the beginning of the video, but Alex has a pretty much different approach.
Every piece of content has a hook. It gives the person a reason to consume it, gets them to notice it.
He's talking about his thumbnail and the title.
Better looking content will hook them before yours even has a chance.
Think about it. If nobody ever clicks on your video, they don't get a chance to watch it for even a second. But how does Alex create highly engaging titles and thumbnails that make people click in a matter of seconds?
So I found this old study, and it was a meta-analysis of all news to show which headlines performed the best. And they found 7 characteristics of high-performing headlines.
Alex tested all 7 of them, but I figured out only 4 of them work for educational creators.
Relevancy, so personally meaningful. All right, so nurses pay more attention to stuff that affects nurses compared to stuff that affects accountants, right?
Let's take a look at 2 Alex thumbnails and tell me which one is more relevant to his audience. I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, you're right. It's the second one. Because the first one, what does this oh shit moment even mean? A business idea he got on the toilet, a math equation finally clicking, nobody knows. But the second video, it has instant clarity and a clear target. Let's say you are 26 and hungry for life. This video is exactly for you. So here's how to be so relevant to your audience they are forced to click on your video. Before you write your next title, answer this. Who is the one person this video is for? Then rewrite your title to include their age stage, their goal and their pain. Instead of creating a basic video like how to start a business, write, if you're under 30 and broke, this video will change your life. Do this and watch your click-through rate instantly jump. But here's the problem. Even a perfectly relevant video can die with 0 views. That's why Alex discovered something that hijacks attention even faster.
So including prominent people, celebrities, authorities, etc. So normally we wouldn't care what another human has for breakfast every day. But if it's Jeff Bezos, we do. Or if it's Elon Musk, we do.
There are already hundreds of videos that prove this method works. And the video you are watching right now is a perfect example of this. You didn't click for me. You clicked it because it's Alex Hormozi's full content guide. But there's a method that Alex uses that's even more powerful because it uses a psychological trigger viewers literally can't resist.
Conflict drives interest. And so when we have headlines, we try and put opposing ideas together to show that there's conflict.
Your brain is wired for detecting threats. When it sees 2 opposing ideas, it needs to know who's right. Alex does this better than anyone on YouTube. How to grow your business so fast it makes your accountant nervous. And in the thumbnail, double your prices. Your brain immediately goes, raising your prices slows down the growth of your business, right? That's the conflict. Or this, how to get customers so fast it feels illegal. But the thumbnail says it's simple. Illegal things aren't simple. Simple things aren't illegal. Once again, the conflict makes the viewer click. Want to use conflict in your videos? Ask yourself, what does my audience believe is the opposite of this? Some examples are get more clients by raising your prices, gain muscle faster by training less, grow your channel by posting less. Conflict is really powerful, but Alex's biggest video ever, it used a completely different method.
So if you find something that's odd, like 1 in a million basketball shot, it's not like basketball shooting in of itself is unique. It's the fact that they made this 6 bouncy thing go into the hoop that takes 1,000 tries to get that one.
Alex came up with this title, How to Get So Rich You Question the Meaning of Making Money. Let's be honest, how often do you hear of someone who gets so rich they question the meaning of making money? Unless you're Elon Musk, you've never heard of someone like that. So when you see that title, you think, wow, this video must have some secret sauce that I don't know about. Or this video, like how often do you see someone make it in business in 5 minutes? Just make sure to include a shocking statement or an absurd outcome in your title. Okay, you've got a click.
Now we have their attention. Great, we've redirected their attention towards our thing.
But most viewers will leave the video in 30 seconds if you screw this up.
Now we gotta deliver.
Alex knows that getting attention is nothing when you can't keep it. So here are 3 ways he structures his content that makes his viewers unable to click away, even on 60-minute videos.
So list her things, facts, tips, opinions, ideas, etc., presented one after the other.
Look at these Alex titles. Every single one has a list. Why? When you see something like 5 ways your brain lights up, each new item gives you a tiny dopamine hit, like you just checked off something on your list. But most creators screw up lists, and Alex knows exactly why.
Good lists in free content also follow a theme. So think top 10 mistakes, 5 biggest money makers, how to make content, for example.
Let's take a look at these 2 lists. 5 random business tips and 5 mistakes that are making businesses broke. One is a collection and the other one is a mission. Every item is a piece of the same puzzle. Lists are powerful, but there's a problem with them. Viewers can't skip around. They can watch first method, third method, 7th method and feel satisfied. That's why Alex uses something that's even more addictive.
All right, steps are actions that occur in order to accomplish a goal when completed.
But here's the genius.
So if I say there's 38 steps to selling a house, if I make the first one clear, they're gonna want to know the second, and they're gonna know all the rest of them so that they can sell their house.
You see the difference? If you miss one step, the whole process fails. And viewers can't randomly click away on step 3 because then step 1 and step 2 were wasted. Even the exact video you're watching right now is using steps. Step 1, hook them in. Step 2, retain their attention. And step 3, we don't know yet. But Alex's most powerful method isn't a framework. It's something that's been hijacking people's attention for tens of hundreds of thousands of years.
And then finally, you have stories, okay? So stories describe events, real or imaginary, and stories worth telling often have some lesson or takeaway for the listener.
Stories are the oldest retention mechanism in human history because 100,000 years ago, if you didn't listen to a story about a lion hiding in tall grass, you died. And your brain still treats stories with the same urgency. Let's see how Alex uses stories to keep his viewers' attention.
I had this kind of ego thing where I loved being the most valuable player. And that was something that handicapped me. I went home for Christmas and I was very afraid to do that. And I had trained these girls who had sold tanning before. And so I taught them how to sell the challenge. And I get this phone call and they're like, yeah, the day ended. And I was like, how'd you do? And they were like, oh, we had 5 people show, sold 2. Yeah, one was paid in full, the other was a split pay. And I was like, hold on. So today, $750 came in. And I ended up pulling the car over. And I remember it was like one of the few times that I had like a real big emotional experience. And I almost got teared up because it was the first moment where I realized I wasn't the one who's gonna have to make every dollar in this business. And it was the first moment where I realized the value of transferring a skill to somebody else.
Stop and think about what just happened. You watched the whole story about Alex's gym because you needed to know what happens next. But what if you don't know how to tell a great story? Every story in educational content follows this structure. Problem to struggle to solution to lesson. In Alex's story, the problem he had was that he always wanted to be the best at everything, but he struggled since his business couldn't scale without him. So he found a solution. He trained 2 girls to sell for him. And the lesson from that was that leverage comes from transferring skills. Before you write down your next video, add a story with this structure. What problem did I face when learning this? How did I struggle with it? What was my breakthrough moment? What lesson did I learn? Answer those 4 questions and you've got a perfect story. But even perfectly structured videos die if you make this one mistake. And 8 out of 10 creators are making it without even realizing.
How good your content is depends on how often it rewards your audience and the time it takes them to consume it.
On YouTube, we call this STV, which means seconds to value. And it's one of the most important factors when it comes to your YouTube videos. Here's why.
The same person who gets bored 3 seconds into a 10-second video might also binge a 900-page book. So there's no such thing as too long, only too boring.
The difference that made the same person binge a 900-page book: reward frequency. The average Alex Hormozi video is about 27 minutes long, and he still gets 400,000 views plus per video. So how does Alex make 60-minute business tutorials feel like a 3-minute TikTok? He uses 2 tricks.
So if I said, here's 6 ways to grow your dental practice, and they all suck, or they're all obvious, then they didn't gain anything. So what happened is they cost them time and they got no reward. And so the likelihood they consume something else from that person in the future, very low.
There's a problem with 90% of YouTube content. It's the same recycled advice that has been said 1,000 times before. Alex knows the viewers is looking for one thing, an insight they've never had before. So let's see Alex's masterclass on how to give your viewers the best insights they've ever heard.
And I did a webinar and it didn't work.
Stop. Notice what he just did. He validated the common advice first. Everyone says webinars work. Now your brain is hooked. Wait, if webinars don't work, what else does?
And so I saw this dude just scrolling on my feed that said free case study on how I spent $1 and made $120,000 in a weekend.
And here goes the aha moment. Not a webinar, a case study.
I swapped out my webinar for just a video with a headline that said free case study how we added 213 members to a gym and $112,000 in San Diego.
Specific numbers will result instant credibility.
And as soon as I did that, the next morning, Layla asked me, she's like, what did you do? And I was like, what happened? And she was like, my calendar's full.
Boom, the aha instantly worked. Now here's why this structure works. Every viewer who tried a webinar and failed just thought to themselves, holy shit, that's why my webinar didn't work. I need to try a case study instead. Before recording your next video, ask yourself, what's the opposite of what everyone teaches? Then test if the opposite worked for you or maybe for someone you know. Here are some examples. Everyone says post every day to grow, but your insight, I grew faster posting 1 time per week. That's an aha moment. But here's the problem. Even with the best insights, your content probably still feels like a lecture. At the moment your content is boring, the viewers are gone. That's why Alex uses a trick that makes business educational content feel like Netflix.
This is the blueprint to becoming a millionaire, and I'm gonna walk you through the levels to becoming one.
This isn't just a business lesson. There's so much action and he makes you laugh for a video about becoming a millionaire. And Alex does this in every single video. Jokes, stories, unexpected moments. If you never want to lose your viewers again, here's how you can replicate this. Open your script. Every 90 seconds, add a joke, even a bad one that shows personality, a personal story, a self-deprecating moment. You don't have to be Mr. Beast. All you have to do is make your lesson feel fun. So that is the Alex Hormozi blueprint. But we didn't mention one thing, that you need to make your content simple to understand. If you make your content hard to understand, no story structures will ever save it. That's why you should watch this video about how to write super simple scripts. Peace.